Abandoned on the side of the road, these children discovered an incredible life-changing secret. In a corner of Maplewood, beneath the swaying trees and bright blue sky, 10-year-old Mia and her 8-year-old brother Jake were feeling an adventure bubbling inside them. Their laughter once rang clear, but today was different. Their single mother, flat tires and all, had driven them to a stop on an old country road, searching for a breath of fresh air, something more than the weight of daily life. In a dizzying swirl of emotion, she left them there, off to confront her dreams, leaving the children alone with nothing but uncertainty. Where did she go? Jake asked, his deep blue eyes wide with worry. Mia squeezed her brother's hand tightly, a knot forming in her stomach. I don't know, but she'll be back, right? She said, trying to catch his fear with hope. With that uncertainty hanging heavier than the sun above them, they began to walk along the deserted road. Dust danced with the wind around them, and the sound of crickets seemed to whisper secrets from the fields. They stumbled upon an old community center, its peeling paint catching the afternoon sunlight. Inside, an enchanting chaos awaited them, dusty books stacked high, heartwarming artifacts of enchantment living in shadow. Each piece whispered tales of local heroes, veterans who spilled their dreams on these very grounds. Mia took a breath, her heart racing with sparks of determination. Look at all this history, Jake. We can bring it back, it can be our secret. Days turned into a whirlwind of uncovered memories and friendship as they rallied their neighborhood pals around them. Each child sat under the lopsided eaves of the center, sharing stories of bravery and courage that filled their hearts with enthusiasm. But excitement waned as older folks in town dismissed them, their harsh critiques slicing through the children's fiery spirits. What do kids know? They say, shaking their heads. As their laughter echoed softly inside a gathering of youthful hope, Mia and Jake felt isolated. Their mission wobbled under the weight of doubt. What if they were just children, standing against a tide too enormous to change? But deep inside, every tattered photograph they uncovered pushed them, like a flicker of light through shadows, and they began to peel back the layers of their sleepy town. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now, let us continue. Determined, they shared their findings at every corner, their voices echoing against the historic walls like stones skipping across water. But resistance lingered, and the hope that lit their excited hearts flickered. Should they stay in Maplewood, fight to reclaim their community, or search for comfort elsewhere? Their journeys swirled around fear and strength, as they uncovered who these veterans were, reflecting the essence of the home they sought to restore. But just when a thin thread of hope began to weave through Maplewood, a familiar face arrived, sinister and tangled with old memories. Their mother returned, leaving Mia and Jake grappling with confusion and longing. Would they turn away from their purpose or step bravely into the bright light they had just begun to see? Dilemmas haunted them like a haunting tune, their hearts beat fiercely, ready for whatever came next. Mia and Jake stood frozen, their mother's silhouette blocking the warm sunlight that had made the community center feel like a sanctuary. The sounds of laughter and excitement faded, replaced by a heavy silence that crept into their hearts. They hadn't prepared for this moment, where her return seemed both a relief and a weight. Mom? Jake's voice wavered, uncertainty twisting his words. The woman they loved looked different, her eyes shadowed by doubt, an unfamiliar tension in her stance. Mia's mind raced. Did she still believe in their mission? When she had left them here, did she ever think they would take it upon themselves to mend something bigger? She felt a fierce desire to show their mother what they had found, the stories they had uncovered. We started to clean it up, Mom. We found all these cool things about the veterans, Mia blurted, her excitement spilling over the fear. Their mother's lips curled into a small, bittersweet smile, a flicker of pride lighting her expression. But then, her eyes darkened again as she stepped closer, as if to shield them from the truth. "That's wonderful, but I didn't come back to celebrate. I've made some big decisions." The words hung in the air, and Jake shifted, fidgeting with his hands. Mia's heart sank. What did that mean? They had dared to hope for a resurrection of community spirit, but now it felt as if their castle was being built on sand. "What kind of decisions?" Mia asked, her voice barely above a whisper. She needed to know. "We can't stay here, sweetie. I've got to go away for a while," their mother said, her words trembling like leaves caught in the wind. Jake's face fell. "But you just got back. We wanted to show you everything we found, the stories we can tell." His voice cracked. Mia felt the knot in her stomach tighten. "We can still do this together. Please don't leave us again." Panic rose like a wave, threatening to drown the small spark of hope they had ignited at the community center. Their mother knelt beside them, the shadows telling tales of heartache and sacrifice. "I know it feels hard right now, but sometimes we have to let go of what's familiar to find what we truly need." The children exchanged glances, a silent conversation of confusion and frustration. Instead of comfort, her words felt like a door slamming shut. "Mom, that's not fair. We're finally doing something good." Mia protested, her voice rising. The heat of anger mixed with fear bubbled inside her. What if everything they built came crashing down? Their mother's eyes glimmered with tears. "I want you to be brave. Just because I'm not here doesn't mean you can't keep it going. You're stronger than you know." Something shifted in Mia. A flicker of understanding that felt almost like betrayal now blossomed. Could they really carry on without her? Would she be watching from afar, hoping they would fight? But before she could respond, a noise outside caught their attention. A group of children gathered near the entrance, intrigued by the commotion, whispers fluttering like wings around them. Curious faces filled the doorframe, eyes wide and expectant. The first signs of encouragement sprang forth, soft yet steady. Mia looked back at her mother, then at the eager faces waiting for them. Maybe this was the lifeline they needed, a chance to make their mark even if the winds were shifting under their feet. "Let us show you," Mia spoke firmly, a new resolve rising from within. Their mother stood, a mix of pride and sadness in her gaze. She opened her mouth to say something but paused, the weight of their shared history heavy in the air. Finally, she stepped back, overwhelmed by mixed emotions. "I'll be near. Remember we talked about being connected?" But what did that really mean? As the chatter grew louder outside, Mia and Jake exchanged glances. They wouldn't let this moment slip away. They had each other, their friends, and the legacy waiting to be uncovered, and as they moved toward the door, determination filling their hearts, they realized they were no longer just kids standing against a tide. They were on the brink of something extraordinary. What awaited them outside, beyond the rusted doors of the community center? A choice, a new challenge, and perhaps even a connection more profound than they could have imagined. Stepping through the threshold, Mia and Jake were greeted by a whirlwind of colors and sounds. The community center's outside world buzzed with energy, but the joy in the air could not drown out the tight knot in their chests. Children played tag on the lawn, their laughter blending like music, but Mia couldn't shake off the heaviness of her mother's departure. A few of their friends spotted them and rushed over, excitement radiating from their faces. "You won't believe this. We found this old box in the back of the center," shouted Tyler, one of their classmates. "It's filled with letters. Letters from the veterans." A surge of relief swept over Mia, the spark of their project was still alive. "Really?" She grabbed Jake's arm, their eyes widening in unison. "What kind of letters?" "They're from the soldiers to their families. Some are so old they're falling apart. But you can read them, and they say the most incredible things," Tyler continued, bouncing on his toes. "Come on, let us show you." As they followed Tyler deeper into the crowd, the weight of their earlier conversation began to lift, replaced by a sense of purpose. This was why they had worked so hard. It was for stories, connections, and memories that echoed through time. Mia felt her heart race as they reached the makeshift reading corner set up under a large oak tree. A handful of kids were already gathered around, rifling through the fragile letters. As the afternoon sun spilled gold across their eager faces, Jake leaned over the letters, his fingers brushing against the yellowed pages. "Who knew there was so much history right here?" he murmured, awe in his voice. Mia picked up a letter, its ink faded but still legible. "This one is from a soldier named Sam. He talks about missing his little brother and how proud he was to defend the country." Tears pricked her eyes, but they weren't from sadness, they were from the beauty of what was unfolding. In their mother's absence, perhaps they could forge a new path. As they continued to share the letters, the group became wrapped in an invisible bond. The excitement of discovering personal histories intertwined with aspirations, making them all feel like they were part of something bigger. "Let us compile these letters into a book," Mia exclaimed, her heart swelling with determination. The idea felt right, like a bridge connecting past heroes to their present lives. "Yeah. We can have a reading night for everyone," Jake added, now caught up in the enthusiasm. Amid the cheers and plans, Mia's mind wandered back to her mother's words. She had said they were strong, maybe they truly could keep this going. But would their mother be watching from afar, proud of their efforts? Or had she left them behind, her decision severing the bond that had always tied them together? Just then, Mia noticed a figure standing at the edge of the crowd, a silhouette familiar yet shrouded by uncertainty. Her heart raced. Could it be? The figure moved closer, revealing not their mother, but someone else entirely. An older man, dressed in a worn jacket that spoke of years of service, approached them with a slow, steady gait. His eyes reflected a depth of experience that drew Mia to him like a moth to light. "Is this where the stories of the veterans are being honored?" he asked, a smile creasing his weathered face. "Yes," Mia replied, stepping forward, her spirit ignited by his presence. "We've found letters, and we're putting together a book. May I help?" He interrupted gently, "I have stories to share too." The conversation shifted, welcoming him into their circle. The air buzzed with renewed energy, and Mia realized that with every shared story, they were building a community. Maybe, just maybe, they could create a legacy their mother would be proud of. But as they began talking, Mia couldn't shake the feeling that something was shifting beneath the surface. The man seemed to carry secrets, and there was an unmistakable weight to his words. "What stories do you have?" she asked, curiosity piqued. What lay behind those eyes? And as the sun dipped lower in the sky, casting longer shadows and whispers of secrets yet untold, Mia felt a sense that their journey was only just beginning. Mia's curiosity hung in the air like the last rays of sunlight filtering through the branches. The older man smiled gently, but his eyes carried a weight she couldn't ignore. He shifted his stance slightly, glancing around at the group gathered under the oak tree. "I have many stories," he began, his voice steady yet soft. "Some are about the places I've been. Others are about the people I've met. But there's one story, it changed everything for me." Everyone leaned in, curious waves washing over them as they exchanged glances. The atmosphere crackled with anticipation, the kind that makes hearts beat faster. What could he possibly share that would bring such energy? "I was once in a place where kindness was rare," he continued. "I remember walking beside a young boy, lost in despair after losing his family. I found a letter on the ground, just like the ones you've collected. It was written by his father, who didn't know if he would ever see his son again. It spoke of love, hope, and the strength of connection." Mia's heart tightened as he spoke, the echo of his words striking home. She thought of her own mother, how she had left without a letter, without a warning. Was there love behind that choice, too? Did it carry an essence of hope that Mia couldn't see yet? The boy read that letter, and it became his lifeline. He didn't just read it, he acted on it. He joined a group similar to yours and inspired others with stories of family and bravery. Inspired murmurs rolled through the group. Jake moved closer to Mia, visibly moved, while Tyler leaned in with wide eyes. After sharing that story, I learned something crucial, the man continued, stories have the power to change lives. They remind us that we're never alone, no matter how separated we feel. Mia thought of the letters they had found, each a thread connecting the past to the present. She could see clear images of that young boy, clutching the letter close, just as she now clutched the letter Sam had written. What if letters like those could change her own story? Could they reshape her family's narrative? I want to help you. Together, we can honor those who have fought for our freedom, and perhaps heal some hearts along the way, the man offered, gaze lingering on Mia. Thank you. She breathed, overwhelmed. Excitement buoyed her spirits, but her mind wandered. What was his connection to those who served? What further stories lay hidden behind the veil of his past? As the group continued to discuss ideas for the book, Mia's heart raced with hope, yet another part of her felt apprehensive. It was a dance between healing and fear of loss. Suddenly, the leaves rustled above them, filling the silence with whispered secrets. What about you? What's your story? She blurted out, unable to hold back the question any longer. The man's smile faded slightly, revealing a flicker of emotion behind his eyes, an unexpected crack in his composed demeanor. Perhaps we'll save that for another day, he replied, his voice distant. Mia's heart sank. Why did it feel like he had another layer to uncover? And what haunted him, as the sun dipped below the horizon, the air shifted, a subtle breeze whispering secrets of its own. They had only scratched the surface of their journey. Mia felt it deep within, a pull towards something greater, not just a history project but a vibrant tapestry of human experience that they hardly yet grasped. Tomorrow, let us come back, Jake suggested brightly, breaking her thoughts. We can dive into more letters and meet again with what's your name? Call me Mr. Harlan, the older man replied, a glimmer in his eye as if welcoming the bond this new adventure promised. Mia exchanged looks with Jake and Tyler, excitement building again. But a question hung, creating tension in the air between them. What transformed Mr. Harlan into this storyteller, and could they weave his past into their own growing story? As they began to rise, Mia knew they would return not just for the letters, but for the man who held secrets of connection, loss, and perhaps a piece of the puzzle that could mend her heart. What truths awaited them tomorrow? The morning sun streamed through the trees, casting dancing shadows on the grassy ground. As Mia, Jake, and Tyler made their way back to the oak tree, hope fluttered in Mia's chest. Thoughts of Mr. Harlan's story lingered on her mind, intertwining with memories of her own fractured family. Do you think he'll open up today? Tyler asked, his voice a mix of curiosity and caution. Mia shrugged, her heart fluttering. I hope so. There's got to be a reason he didn't share more, something important. Jake nodded, excitement gleaming in his eyes. It's like waiting for the final puzzle piece to drop. Once it's there, everything makes sense. As they approached the meeting spot, Mia noticed Mr. Harlan already there, seated on a weathered log and flipping through the collection of letters. For a moment, he appeared lost in thought, the morning light haloing around him like a protective aura. Good morning. Tyler called out, his voice brightening the clearing. Mr. Harlan looked up, his expression warmed by the group's energy. Morning. Ready to dive deeper? Mia nodded, feeling a rush of determination. Can we start with the letters? Of course, he replied, laying a letter out on the log. This one is special. It reminds us of loss but also of resilience. As he read, Mia felt the words resonate. They spoke of a mother's love, a soldier's sacrifice, and the bond of family that never truly wavered. Her heart ached, mirroring the story. She knew the letters were supposed to represent their collective histories, yet she felt them dragging her into a personal reckoning. After finishing, Mr. Harlan glanced up, eyeing Mia. What do you think, Mia? How does this connect with your own story? Her throat tightened. Why did it feel like all eyes focused on her, waiting for a revelation she wasn't ready to share? It makes me think about my mom. How people can leave and take a part of you with them. The air grew thick with emotion, and Tyler shifted uncomfortably, glancing at Jake. Everyone has their battles, Jake chimed in. But it's how we fight back that matters. Mia looked at Mr. Harlan. Did you fight back? He paused, his eyes clouded with memories. I wish I had known how to. Sometimes, though, it takes time for the right path to reveal itself. Something in his tone tugged at Mia. What do you mean? Mr. Harlan took a breath, gathering strength. There was a time I faced a choice that defined my journey. I lost someone dear, and it took years for me to confront that pain. I learned then that stories don't just emerge in the light, they often flourish in our darkest moments. His words settled heavily in the air. Mia glanced at Jake, whose unwavering support fortified her. What happened? Mia asked, her voice barely above a whisper. A flicker of unease flashed across Mr. Harlan's face, a ghost of memories fleeting past. Maybe one day he trailed off, perhaps sensing the weight of their curiosity. But before they could delve deeper, a rustle from the nearby bushes startled them. A small group of children, laughing and chasing one another, burst into the clearing. Their innocence felt refreshing amidst the heaviness. One child, a girl with bright pigtails, ran straight to Mr. Harlan. Can you tell us a story? Mia's heart softened at the interjection. The children reminded her of the joy and simplicity that life once held. It was contagious. We're exploring letters today, Tyler said, a smile tugging at his lips. Want to hear a secret? The children's eyes widened. Mia exchanged glances with her friends, feeling an unexpected lift in her chest. They could both celebrate the past while nurturing the innocence of the future. Let us share stories then, Mr. Harlan said, his voice regaining its steadiness. And who knows, maybe we'll discover new ones together. As laughter filled the air, Mia sensed something shift inside her. Perhaps today was about more than uncovering Mr. Harlan's past, it was also about starting anew, building connections, and embracing the stories still waiting to be told. What layers of Mr. Harlan's life would unfold with the children's laughter? And could they piece together a shared story that would heal all their hearts? Mr. Harlan shifted on the log, his gaze softening with each giggle and shout from the children. All right, little ones, gather around, he said, his voice booming yet warm. The kids scampered excitedly to sit in front of him, eyes sparkling with curiosity. Mia found herself smiling at the scene. It was as if the weight of their earlier conversation had slipped away, replaced by a joyous innocence. The kids settled, sitting cross-legged on the grass, eager for a story that might lead them into a world of adventure. Once upon a time, Mr. Harlan began, his voice getting all the more animated, there was a hidden garden, filled with flowers that bloomed in every color you could imagine. He weaved a tale of enchanted creatures and heroic quests, and Mia was mesmerized. Each word he spoke felt like magic transforming the air around them, but her mind wandered back to her own story, the unspoken fears warring inside her. She loved the laughter and the happiness surrounding her, yet a part of her felt tethered to the weight of her past. It left her wondering, could stories really heal? Could she find her own joy amidst the darkness? Yes. And in the garden, Mr. Harlan continued, cheering for their raised hands and enthusiasm. If you listened closely, you could hear the whispers of the flowers. They spoke tales of bravery and hope. Tyler raised his finger, interrupting, did they ever talk about sadness? Mr. Harlan paused. He looked thoughtful for a moment, shifting gears. Sometimes, even in sadness, we can find strength. The flowers would tell you that every storm helps them grow stronger, deeper roots. His eyes met Mia's, the connection unmistakable. Her heart raced. It felt like he was speaking directly to her. What kind of storms? Mia finally managed to voice her curiosity. Mr. Harlan smiled gently, his expression deepening. Oh, all kinds. Some are big, like losing someone you love, and others are just fleeting, like a bad day that can feel like forever. Mia swallowed. His voice transported her back to memories of her mother leaving. The hurt still stung. Do they ever go away? They change, he replied simply. Just like the flowers. Sometimes they become beautiful memories, sometimes they remind us of what we need to let go. A silence lingered among them, the laughter of children faded, replaced with contemplative thoughts. Mia's mind spun with questions. Letting go. Moving forward. It felt daunting. Can we summon the flowers? One of the children shouted suddenly, breaking the somber mood. Laughter erupted again, and the air shifted back to lightness. Of course, Mr. Harlan declared with mock seriousness. But to do so, we must all shout at once. Who's in? Me. Tyler shouted, hands raised high, determined. Mia felt a sudden rush of courage, fueled by the spirit of the moment. Let us do it. As they all took a deep breath together, Mia's heart raced, alongside a mixture of fear and excitement. She felt empowered by the laughter, the willingness to embrace the unknown. All together now. 1, 2, 3. They shouted in unison, their voices mixing together in a joyous cacophony. The sound soared above the trees, and for a heartbeat, everything felt possible. Mia glanced back at Mr. Harlan, who was watching her with an expression that seemed to say more than words could convey. It felt like a shift had taken place. In that moment, under the branches of the oak tree, Mia realized they were all part of this larger story, a story of hope and connection. She wanted to know more, to delve deeper into her own history, but would she have the strength to face it? Just then, the laughter faded slightly, and Mr. Harlan looked down at the letters in his hands. I have one last letter to share today. It might surprise you. Mia's heart quickened. What surprise awaited them? Could this letter carry the truths that might alter their understandings, guiding them toward healing? Mr. Harlan carefully unfolded the letter, the worn edges hinting that it had traveled far and wide before landing in his hands. The children leaned in, eyes alight with anticipation, their earlier thoughts of sadness replaced by the thrill of a new adventure. What does it say? Mia breathed, fully engaged now, her heart racing. She felt the weight of the air shift, as if at any moment, magic could burst from the page. It begins like this, Mr. Harlan said, a glint in his eye. To whoever finds this letter, know that you possess the power to transform your fears into strength, to turn sadness into joy, and to unlock the secrets of your heart. The world is richer than you know. He paused, allowing the words to settle among them like soft petals from the magical garden he had just described. The children were quiet now, listening, hanging on every syllable. Just like the flowers that grow beneath the storms, we too can bloom in unexpected places even when it feels impossible. Mia's breath caught. Mr. Harlan was weaving something intimate and magical with this letter. She could feel the connection deepening. What else? Tyler prompted, urgency in his voice. With a soft chuckle, Mr. Harlan continued, the letter mentions a secret, a hidden place within the garden that holds the ability to show us our true selves. It is said that if you find the heart of the garden, you will discover not only the beauty of your own spirit but also the courage to face your darkest fears. Mr. Harlan's brow furrowed slightly. But, he added, his voice lower, it warns us that finding this hidden place requires a leap of faith. You may uncover parts of yourself that have been waiting in the shadows. Mia's thoughts raced. A hidden place? The heart of the garden? Her soul echoed with apprehension and excitement. What would she find within herself? Feelings stirred again, wrestling inside her, the thought of confronting her past sent a shiver through her. Students around her began murmuring, some exchanging glances as if silently agreeing on a quest. Can we find it? Mia asked, her voice thin yet resolute. Mr. Harlan smiled, a twinkle of encouragement in his gaze. Only if you desire to journey together. Remember, the path won't be without its challenges, but every step will help you grow. A ripple of applause broke through the group, the children bubbling with a blend of fear and exhilaration. Just then, the sky overhead darkened slightly as a gentle breeze swept past them, as if nature itself joined in the anticipation. Mia's heart simmered with determination. This could be the moment she started to face everything she had kept hidden. But what awaited her? What parts of her story were locked away, waiting for this moment to be revealed? As if sensing her thoughts, Mr. Harlan leaned closer, his voice lowering again. One last thing, dear ones. It is said that those who dare to uncover their truths will receive guidance, but they must be ready to embrace it no matter what it brings. The children nodded, a sea of wide-eyed enthusiasm. But in the depths of Mia's heart, questions brewed. What would she truly find if she dared to seek her hidden garden? With the gathering clouds overhead, she felt a flicker of fear. Was she really ready to take this step? Then, it settled. Tyler declared, breaking through her mental storm. We'll find the heart of the garden. The chorus of cheers rose, but for Mia, it felt like a promise and a challenge all wrapped into one. With hope tethered to her newfound courage, she braced herself for whatever lay ahead. As the children made plans to start their adventure, Mia stole a glance at Mr. Harlan once more. This journey would shift the dynamics of everything she understood about herself. But would she be able to confront the shadows that lurked within? The woods whispered, holding secrets yet unrevealed, and above it all, the looming uncertainty remained. What awaited them in the hidden depths of the heart of the garden? As they walked toward the garden, the children chattered excitedly, each person buzzing with their own anticipation. Leaves rustled in the trees overhead, whispering secrets only they could hear. Mia could feel a knot deep in her stomach, the thrill of adventure clashing with her fear of what lay ahead. Where do we start? Asked Zoe, her green eyes glittering with curiosity. Let us follow the path. Tyler suggested. His confidence lit a fire in their spirits. Why not? Mia thought, taking a deep breath. They stepped onto the narrow trail, bordered by vibrant wildflowers that danced in the soft breeze. Each step seemed to ignite something within her, as color and light filled her vision, pushing back the darker corners of her mind. But the weight of uncertainty remained. Soon the path narrowed, weaving through tall hedges that brushed against their arms like gentle reminders of support. Mia lingered at the back of the group, trying to shake off the feelings that clung to her like shadows. She watched her friends, their laughter ringing clear through the air. It felt like an escape, yet she couldn't help but dwell on the weight that pressed against her heart. What's wrong, Mia? Zoe turned, a hint of concern in her voice. Nothing, Mia replied too quickly, trying to smile. She didn't want to rain on anyone's parade. Let us keep going. With every bend in the garden path, the air thickened with possibility. They walked until the sun dipped behind the trees, casting long shadows that seemed to stretch like fingers reaching into the unknown. Suddenly, an ancient-looking archway appeared, draped in vines and flowers, a portal to mystery. There it is! Someone shouted, pointing. Excitement bubbled within the group as they raced toward it. Mia hesitated, her feet rooted in place, heart pounding. Beyond that archway lay the unknown, a world she fancied to be magical but also terrifying. What if she didn't like what she found? What if her fears were true? What if she didn't have the courage to face them? Through the arch, the garden opened up spectacularly. The colors were more vibrant than ever, flowers swayed hypnotically, and the singing of birds filled the air. Enchantment filled every nook and cranny. But her eyes landed on a small, shadowy corner where the light seemed unwilling to reach. Mia! Over here! Tyler's voice broke through her thoughts, pulling her back to the group. They were standing in front of a large, gnarled tree, a tree full of knotted roots and twisted branches. An aura of strength seemed to radiate from it. Mr. Harlan's words echoed in her mind. The heart of the garden. The letter said something about finding our true selves here, Mia whispered, feeling the pull of that shadowy corner. I bet this tree holds a secret. Zoe exclaimed, eagerly brushing her fingers along the bark. Locating herself in the midst of her friends brought comfort, but Mia still felt the urge to explore that dark spot beyond. It danced in her mind like a flickering flame. What if she dared to step away from the warmth of her friends and face those fears alone? Let us start searching, Tyler urged, excitement radiating from him. Who knows what we'll find? As they all began exploring the area around the tree, Mia felt a tiny crack form in her wall of hesitance. She took a step closer to that shadowed spot, her heart racing, and paused. But what lurked in the darkness? Would she really be able to embrace whatever waited for her? Just then, a distant rustle caught her attention. Fear and curiosity coiled tightly in her chest as she prepared herself for the unknown, ready to take that leap of faith. With a pounding heart, she took a step forward, the urge to hide battling against an unshakable urge to discover the truth. What awaited her at the heart of the garden? Could she summon the courage to dive into that mysterious depth and learn just what shadows had been keeping her company all this time? Mia's breath caught in her throat as she stepped into the shadowy corner. The air felt different, cooler, almost alive. It whispered through the branches overhead, curling around her like a gentle embrace, yet she could feel the weight of uncertainty pressing down on her shoulders. What if the shadow held the worst of her fears? The rustling sound persisted, a continuous reminder that she wasn't alone. She glanced back at her friends, their joyful laughter echoing in the distance. They were exploring the tree, engrossed in their own discoveries, unaware of the battle she was facing just a few steps away. Taking that leap felt monumental, like standing on the edge of a diving board, ready to plunge into the unknown. Mia? Tyler called out, his voice reverberating through the air, pulling her mind back to a more familiar place. Come check this out. You won't believe what I found. That lure was strong, but so was the call of the shadows in front of her. She turned again, heart racing, and took another tentative step forward. What if this corner held the piece she was missing, the link between her and the fear that kept lurking in her mind? Suddenly, she caught sight of something shimmering on the ground. It was small, partially hidden by leaves and dirt. Curiosity piqued, she bent down, brushing away the detritus. In that moment, she felt as if the garden had drawn her in, surrounding her with not just flora but a magnetic energy that throbbed in harmony with her own pulse. Her fingers finally grasped the object, and she pulled it into the light. It was a locket, its surface intricately designed with elegant swirls that caught the fading sunlight and reflected a myriad of colors. Gaping at it in awe, she wondered who it belonged to and what stories it held. Could it be someone who had also wandered into this garden, seeking answers, courage, or a piece of themselves? Mia? Are you okay? Zoe's worried tone cut through like a sudden gust of wind, drawing Mia's attention back. You've been gone a minute. I found something, Mia whispered, her heart racing. Holding up the locket, the moment felt pivotal. It was as if the garden had chosen her, granting her a secret that wanted to be discovered, but would she be brave enough to unlock it? What is it? Zoe leaned closer, her eyes widening with excitement, and the others soon rushed over, curiosity painted across their faces. It's a locket, Mia said softly, running her thumb across the cool metal. I think it might belong to someone important. Open it. Tyler urged, the anticipation bubbling to the surface. Mia's fingers trembled as she carefully unclasped the locket. Inside lay a tiny, faded photograph of a girl with a radiant smile. Something deeply familiar about that face tugged at her heartstrings. Who is she? Mia whispered as memories she hadn't recalled began to flicker in her mind like fireflies in the dark. Maybe it's a clue. Zoe encouraged, practically bouncing on her toes. The shadows began to stir around Mia. In that moment, she felt an overwhelming surge of emotions: hope, fear, curiosity, and something else, an inexplicable sense of connection. Just then, a chilling breeze swept through the area, carrying with it a whisper that sent shivers down her spine. It felt like the garden was alive, beckoning them to uncover more truths hidden in its depths. "Mia, we need to find out more," Tyler exclaimed, the excitement in his voice igniting a sense of purpose. With newfound determination coursing through her veins, Mia nodded slowly. "Let us figure out who she is and what this means." But even as she spoke, a new worry crept in. What if some truths were too hard to face? What if this journey took them down a path from which there was no return? As the kids began to gather around her, excitement turned into resolve. They felt the pulse of adventure urging them on. But Mia couldn't shake the feeling that they were on the edge of something much bigger than them. What other secrets awaited in this garden of wonders, and what would they unleash on them next? Mia's heart raced as they gathered in a huddle around her, each of their eager faces shining with the thrill of discovery. The locket gleamed in the sunlight, carrying weight beyond its delicate charm and unmistakable promise of connection to past stories. "We have to figure out who she is," Mia urged, her voice steady despite the whirlwind of emotions swirling within her. "Let's search for more clues," Tyler suggested, his enthusiasm infectious. "There has to be more hidden here." Jake jumped in, eyes sparkling. "Maybe there are more photos. Or letters scattered around the garden." The children dispersed into the enchanting landscape, fueled by shared excitement. The rush of finding themselves on this unexpected mission cast aside the tension that had nested in Mia's chest. She felt the pulse of camaraderie giving her strength. Together, they could unearth something monumental. As Mia wandered through the garden, she found herself craning her neck to catch glimpses of vibrant flowers dropping petals like confetti in the breeze. "Look!" Zoe called out, her voice cutting through the air. "Over here." Sitting near the base of the gnarled tree, a piece of fabric peeked out from beneath the twisting roots. Mia joined the group, curiosity drawing her near. The fabric was a tattered scarf, its colors a blend of soft blues and greens. "This has to belong to somebody," Mia said, feeling a flutter of excitement. "It could lead us to more stories." While examining it, something else caught Mia's eye, a small, engraved silver plate lodged in the earth nearby. She knelt down, brushing aside the dirt, revealing faded letters etched into the plate. The words began to form shapes in her heart, echoing resonance in her spirit. "It says for Anna, my love, forevermore." "Anna!" Tyler exclaimed, his eyes lighting up. That could be her name. The girl in the locket. Mia's pulse quickened. "We're onto something." A collective determination washed over them as Mia glanced at her friends, a spark igniting their shared quest. Renewed, they formulated a plan. "Let us check back at the community center," Mia said. "There must be records or artifacts that connect everyone. We need to find out more about Anna." One by one, the children nodded, excitement bubbling beneath the surface. With the afternoon sun casting long shadows across the garden path, they set off back to the heart of Maplewood. The community center felt vibrant and busy as laughter filled the air. Families gathered, starting to trickle in, creating a lively buzz that harmonized with Mia's heartbeat. Inside, the warmth of the space enveloped them, fueling the sense of hope and purpose. They headed straight for the back room, where the dusty archives lay in wait. "I remember seeing a box labeled Local Legends and Tales," Mia recalled as they rifled through the clutter of memorabilia. With fervor, they unearthed the box, the children brimming with anticipation. As the lid creaked open, a multitude of papers lay before them, stories, names, and dreams captured in faded ink. "There!" Jake pointed excitedly, revealing a piece of yellowed paper. "It mentions Anna." Every heart held its breath as Mia leaned closer, absorbing each word etched in history. The document told of a girl named Anna who had lived in Maplewood decades ago. "She helped organize events for veterans," Mia read aloud. "They honored the soldiers through letters and music just like us." Emotion tightened in her throat. She wanted their stories to be forever alive. "This is incredible." It's like we're continuing her legacy," Zoe declared, her eyes gleaming with a deeper understanding of their mission. Mia could feel the warmth of connection wrapping around her, as if Anna's spirit was alive in that very room. We can share her story. Empowered by this realization, the group launched into action. They documented everything Anna's legacy, her contributions, the stories of her life, and how they had rediscovered her spirit through the locket. Their mission morphed from just uncovering the past into weaving a vibrant tapestry of communal history, forever binding them. Together with threads of hope and courage. As word spread, neighbors began arriving at the center out of curiosity, adults joining the children in their newfound mission. It created a joyful cacophony of voices and laughter filling the air. The children shared the letters they had found, expanding on Anna's story, while the adults chimed in with remembrance and admiration. Mia looked around at the crowd, feeling the warmth of her newfound family. Every face held parts of her past and dreams of her future. The emptiness created by her mother's departure slowly transformed into a bond that would lift her higher than she could have imagined. Sometimes, Mia thought, it just takes a secret locket and a hidden garden to uncover what we all really need: connection. Mr. Harlan arrived, noticing the growing gathering. "You've done something remarkable," he said, voice laced with pride. "You've turned a journey of personal discovery into a new legacy for your community." Tears welled in Mia's eyes. "Thank you for guiding us," she whispered. As the sun dipped low, illuminating the whole space with a golden hue, Mia felt the ripples of change that had started. They were no longer just a group of children facing isolation, they had become a community united by stories, memories, and hope, healing the scars of their past. And in that moment of magic and connection, Mia found what she had longed for: the strength to embrace tomorrow, transformed by the stories they uncovered, standing proud amidst all that lay ahead. Now, let your voice join this unfolding story. Subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive tales. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm. Comment your reactions and feelings about the ending. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. This is the moment to show your support. Don't wait not even one more second to share. True fans understand the importance. Let us spread the power of every story.